It's your boy GP the Beast, man. We got another banger. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, we're going to talk about this boy Cameron Terrell. Y'all probably know who he is. You know what I'm saying? Rich white crip. You know, daddy got money, mama got money, professional designer. You know what I'm saying? They living up there in the big hills, you know, but they close. They close to the Gangland area, not far away, couple of miles. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody knows. South Central, home of the Gangland, home of NWA, home of activity, home of Crips, home of Bloods. The gang culture first started. You know what I mean? It all rooted in LA. And everybody know when it come to a white boy crip, he got to be the hardest one on the line because he gonna be tested every level. But this right here, this is a unique story. This one is a little different, bruh. This white boy crip, he didn't grow up around Bloods. He didn't grow up around Crips. He ain't grow up around blacks. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? Usually they grow up in the neighborhood because they poor. You know what I mean? The white mama living on the block, white boy grow up, he grow up around Bloods. I mean niggas, you know what I'm saying? Blacks. And he become like us. You know what I mean? That's how it is. Anything you put around something, it's going to become like it. Well, this was a different situation because on this situation, the white boy crip was rich. I mean, rich. I mean, he had an allowance of like $5,000 to $10,000 a month. He was rolling around in a brand new Mercedes Benz. He didn't care about it. He would let his new partners drive it. You know what I'm talking about? He'll let them push. You know, to him, it wasn't nothing but a bucket. But to them, it was one of the best cars in the hood. Now, you probably wondering, how could a white boy crip end up being around blacks, end up being in a hood, you know what I'm saying, that he didn't grow up in? And this ain't just no hood. This the 90s. The 90 Crips. They not playing. You feel me? Affiliated with the 60s. You know what I mean? Affiliated with neighborhood. Yeah, the white boy got in and was representing. I mean, really feeling it. Got the tattoo of the W and everything. A rolling 90s Crip. But we gonna go into that story, man. I'm just giving you a sneak peek right now. This one right here got a cold ending. Yeah, where somebody loses their life, murder is involved, and two people, not three, although three were involved, two people go to jail. And guess what? Wasn't there one of them white? With celebrity gang members like Tookie Williams, who would be the founder of the Crips, and Raymond Washington, who would be the founder of the Bloods. This would emulate the gangland structure in Los Angeles, California. This would be the beginning of online gangland and gangbanging throughout Los Angeles and around the world. You know what I mean? Watts, Compton, South Central. It ain't no doubt that's where it all birthed at. And that's where it's at. They the father of gangbanging. And this story is right here in the heart of LA, South Central, the 90 Crips. This is where Cameron Terrell would start his life of gangbanging after growing up in luxury, cars, houses, the best life you can have, maids. He was spoiled with the best of schools, best of clothes, best education, the best teaching. The Terrell family lived in Palos Verdes Estates, which was described as the 47th most expensive zip code in the United States by Forbes in 2007. Cameron Terrell attended Palos Verdes High School, where he had good grades, where he was educated. At his high school, he was a football star, and the girls loved him. But with all that education, and with all that money, and with all that luxury, Cameron was unhappy. He was actually infatuated with gang culture. He actually used to read about it. He used to watch videos on it. He used to listen to the rap music. He would look in the mirror with guns and picture himself being a gang member and being hard. He would practice looking hard and practice walking different. Cameron was infatuated with gang life and he wanted to be a part of it. And the main thing he wanted to be was a crip. And he would do anything to reach that point. Even one day, after having an argument with his family and saying that he would leave and not come back, would go to the park and he would purposely seek out a black friend. Although it was all beauty on the outside, on the inside it was all bad. And Terrell wasn't feeling it. He started leaving the house. He started hanging out more and more, not coming home for 2 and 3 days, then not coming home for 2 and 3 weeks. He the only white boy up there, and he rolling up in a black Benz. So all eyes is on him. Like, who is this white boy and why is he here? But Cameron had a pretty good attitude, and he ended up befriending one of them dudes. He started hanging out with Jesse Owens. Jesse Owens would become his first friend, and they would kick it. They would smoke weed. They'd ride in the Benz. One thing about Cameron, he ain't got no problem spending no money on you. So he would spoil them. Everything on him. Weed, drink, clothes, shows, whatever. It's all on him. Remember, this is a dude that's getting $5,000 to $10,000 a month for allowance. Well, Terrell was having problems at the house. So he wasn't trying to be around his parents. Although they were still giving him money, that wasn't important because it never could be important because he was born with it. It would only be important if he never had it. But once you're born with it, it's no longer an issue. He started hanging out with the Rolling 90s, neighborhood Crips, a set of the larger Crip Games Alliance. At the park, Terrell would come in contact with other teenagers who would later join the Rolling 90s as well. They would kind of figure like, man, if you do it, I'ma do it. Jesse Owens was the first one to do it. And since Jesse Owens was his friend and someone he would go to his house with and got to meet his parents, Terrell would become a Rolling 90s neighborhood Crip as well. As he repeatedly came back to the park day after day and repeatedly hung out with Jesse Owens, people would start to wonder, man, who is that dude and why is he here? He obviously ain't born around here. He obviously ain't poor. I mean, what is his agenda? What is his motive? But it turned out that he didn't have no motive. All Terrell wanted was a friend, and he had found it in the black community, in the black culture of gangbanging, and he decided he wanted to be a gangbanger too. Cameron Terrell had decided he wanted to be a Crip. The gang life in LA has terrorized the communities for decades. It's been violence and chaos all throughout the communities, all throughout the cities, and all throughout the United States. Gangbanging has traveled in every city. It is the new black culture, and everybody has been touched in one way or another by gang life. Which brings us to Cameron Terrell. Cameron Terrell was born on the other side of the tracks, but he ain't the only one who's mesmerized by gang life. He's seen it, he read books about it, he studied it, he wanted to be a part of it, and he made it his mission. And once he got up in there, he was a part of it. He became active. He was a part of the raps. He learned how to carry guns. He started buying guns. He started supplying guns. Remember, Cameron Terrell was very wealthy. With an allowance of $5,000 to $10,000 a month, buying guns was no problem. He also would let them use his car. He had a brand new Mercedes Benz, but yet he would let them drive it. He became their brother. He was a part of them. And you know, like we said before, when you're a white Crip, you got to be 10 times harder. Well, in this situation, we don't believe Cameron Terrell was 10 times harder. But what he was a little bit smarter. I say that because he uses money to get in. He uses resources. Now, if you can bring the gang guns, and you can bring the gang new cars, and you can rent cars, you know what I mean? You just became an asset. And that's how he was. He wasn't really a shooter. You know what I'm saying? If he was a shooter, when they finally did commit murder, he would have got out the car. But he never got out the car because Cameron Terrell, he really ain't a shooter. He was born on the other side of the tracks. His mama and daddy is rich. He ain't never had to shoot nothing. He probably done been hunting or something before, but he ain't never shot no human. So, he was getting in the mix with them though. They rocking. Videos, you can see him in the video. You can see him in the Anthem video. He up in there. You can see him in the video released by the rapper Cinco wearing a blue bandana, letting you know that he had got affiliated with the Rolling 90s Crip, and he was now a Rolling 90s Crip. You know what I mean? He got on jury. He doing his thing. They used to call him several names. They called him Milk. They called him Blue Eyes. They called him Bright Eyes. You know what I'm saying? They probably even called him White Boy. But one thing about it, this is the best thing I could say about Cameron Terrell. He sure wasn't no rat. Cameron was the only child to two rich parents, so he was used to getting his way. Once he started getting in the mode of killing crips, and they figured out that was the new life, he was like, okay, I'm with it. And I got the money to supply the guns, and I got the car. On the night of the murder, Cameron, using his father's 2017 Mercedes-Benz, drove two other members of the Rolling 90s neighborhood Crips to the 7800 block of Southwestern Avenue, which is a territory of a rival gang, the A-Tray Gangster Crips. Terrell would later claim that he thought the two other gang members were going to spray graffiti on the territory of their rivals. But it was clear that was not the case. According to authorities, they had a gun in the car. Cameron Terrell would use his father's car as the getaway. He was the driver. He knew exactly what was going on. He had already got in that mode. He had been gangbanging for some months now. He had been all the way in. He had got nicknames. He was a part of the videos. He was hanging out. He knew the language. He knew the lingos. He threw up the signs. He wore the colors. He even packed the pistols. Cameron Terrell had become a full-fledged Rolling 90s Crip. This is not no little kid shit. This is not no preschool shit. We is not finna go spray graffiti on the walls. But hell, that's a good excuse to come up with for a white boy. You know what I'm talking about? But everybody in the world know. Niggas die over gangbanging. People die over gangbanging. Remember, this dude done read books. This dude done watched videos. This dude knows exactly what gang members do. So, on that night, they would ride, and Cameron Terrell would be the driver. The two gang members would approach 21-year-old Justin Holmes. Justin Holmes would be with friends. Holmes was not a gang member. He actually had a job and was off that day and wanted to be with his friends. Holmes' friends ran away as he asked about which gang he was from. Holmes replied that he doesn't gangbang. One of the gang members decided that wasn't good enough. They had their mind made up that they were going to go kill A-Tray Gangster Crips. And even though Holmes gave all the right answers, it was not about to stand up on that day. And one of the members let off. Pop, 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 pop. And Justin Holmes would die that day. They would run back into the Mercedes-Benz. Cameron Terrell would be behind the wheel. They would take off fast. They would hit a few corners. While inside the car, they would be excited and juiced and giving each other a high five because they knew whoever Justin Holmes was, he was dead. The police would do a full investigation. They would realize that it was cameras in the neighborhood. They would go to them cameras and get footage. That's when they would spot the black Mercedes-Benz owned by Cameron Terrell's father. It was easy to trace the car back to Cameron Terrell, who would later say that he did drive the car and he was the driver only, and that he thought that they were going there to spray graffiti on the walls. They would catch the other two, and after being arrested on October 12th, Terrell was released on a $5 million bail. On October 19th, he was allowed to continue attending school while on bail. Terrell's presence at school angered a group of parents who wrote a letter to the Palos Verdes, Pensacola School Board in which they stated, at best, Cameron Terrell was a distraction to teachers, staff, and other students. At worst, most law enforcement officers would say that allowing an 18-year-old gang member suspected of a felony to attend a high school presents a clear and present danger to other students. Because of the murder, it caused a domino effect on Terrell and his family. People decided they did not want to do business with his parents no more, not his mother nor his father. The family was not playing. They wanted their son out of jail, which he was, and they wanted him to stay out of jail, which he would. In 2018, he would be represented by Javon Blacknell. Javon Blacknell was hot. He was the biggest young black attorney in LA. He was getting everybody off. He had got somebody off that had got caught hiding a body. That's how good he was. During the trial, 23 witnesses were called to testify. The main focus of the trial was on whether Terrell knew if his two fellow gang members were going to murder someone. Blacknell argued that Cameron did not expect to hear gunshots and that it was a full surprise to him, and at best, Terrell was nothing but a witness. Cameron Terrell, he had the luxury of staying out of jail. He only stayed in jail 1 week. He had the luxury of being able to go home every day while he was going through trial. While his two co-defendants, two young black boys, never got out of jail. They still in jail right now. And they probably won't get out of jail for the next 40 years. You already know, when you black, it's bad. Also, Cameron Terrell was 18. The two young black boys was only 17 and 16. Now, in every situation that I know of, if you the older person, you the one that take the responsibility. But Cameron Terrell didn't take no responsibility. His lawyer said, at best, at worst, he was nothing but a witness. He also said he was shocked to hear the gunshots. This was masterminding because basically he kept it simple. Man, I was just a driver. I ain't know they was going to do that. Yeah, them my brothers, I fuck with them, but I thought they was going to do some graffiti type shit. When I heard the gunshots, I was like, whoa. Mastermind. Although the prosecutor had plenty of evidence that he was a crip. Yeah, they seen him dressed in blue. They seen him in the video. You know what I'm talking about? They seen him doing his thing. He was on Instagram with pictures. You know what I mean? It was official. He was a rolling 90s. But so what? He was a rich white boy who had never been in jail. And that's what the lawyer argued. 23 witnesses who said he was nothing but a good boy. He was a good kid. He's never been in trouble. He was a football star. He got good grades. He's highly educated. This was nothing but a hiccup. This was not his fault. Yeah, he got caught with the wrong crowd, but he's not a murderer. He could never murder anybody. And I don't believe he could plot on murdering anybody. Of course not. He's white, and white is always right. And he has no record. And his family is very rich and powerful. They're powerful people in the community. Although they did start losing clientele. They did start losing customers. People was protesting against them. They were protesting against Cameron Terrell being allowed to go to the high privileged school he was going to. They were saying, why should they allow a gang member in the school? This could bring problems. This could bring violence. Plus, he was a distraction. His case was all in the news. He was a distraction to the teachers. He was a distraction to the children. He was a distraction, period. So they wasn't feeling their parents. They turned against them. At first, they used to praise them. Then now they turned against them. Why? Because Cameron Terrell had got caught up with the black folks and had caught a murder. He had caught a hot one. Well, the media was kind of tripping on this shit too. Like, why this boy gets all this privilege? Why he never has to go to jail when the two young black kids never got out of jail? But the one thing I do want to do, I got to salute that boy Cameron Terrell though. You know why? That nigga kept it stitched lip for sure. That nigga didn't do no telling. Now, he could have took that easy route. He could have took that route. I'm white, I'm rich, I didn't know what they was doing, but I'm going to tell you everything they did so I could get off. You know he would have got off. That would have been simple. That's what they do. But yet, Cameron Terrell did not do that. That nigga didn't tell. Tashosky 6ix9ine told. Other rappers didn't told. This nigga ain't a rapper. This nigga is just a white boy that's a rolling 90s crip. Wasn't even a crip for no years or none of that. Nigga got a hot one. Going to trial for it, looking at life. Did not tell. How about that? How about that? That nigga still good in the hood, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, he might have got a few white privileges, but he worked that shit. That nigga walked out that motherfucker a free man. And then double back and apologize for the dead. You know what I'm talking about? He did that shit like he was a motherfucking celebrity. Like he was a football star. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, real shit. Cameron Terrell. Beat it. Beat a hot one on a nigga. But guess what? He ain't pulled the trigger. Shout it out. Books by the author Genaro Patterson. You can now order on Amazon.com or any other platform that sells books. You can order on ebook. You can order on paperback. You can order on audiobooks. The choice is yours. Order now. Yeah, your boy GP the Beast, man. Shout out that gang. Fill his pocket up with some change. I just want to talk to him. Tried to smut my name. But niggas know I'm about it. And what fucked me up is the niggas that spoke about it. Niggas that even defend me. They don't know I know about it. They don't know. What really fucked me up, the hater side was the most crowded. I don't claim clicker, but I do be around it. And when I leave the house, I don't never leave without it. Never. I don't never sleep without it. Shit, I can't even eat without it. I got it when I'm getting my dick sucked. Can't even freak without it. First thing waking up, I don't brush my teeth without it. When I'm in the city, I don't slide through the streets without it. Niggas might catch me slipping if I be without it. So to leave home without it, I would never think about it. Mozzie and Mozzie, my nephew, don't even think about it. Born with this game, shit, I would never eat without it. They gave me 17, I couldn't believe I got it. Thought I was through with money, but I refused to believe I got it. Bitch ass nigga snitch, forced me to take a plea about it. Talk shit behind my back, no time to think about it. Ain't no running from the phone, nigga, I gotta go see about it. And it gotta be a body before we can talk peace about it. Talk shit on the net. Shit, we in the streets about it. Oh, you know about a body, nigga? Don't even speak about it. Hey, nigga ain't built to actually be about it. And if it ain't no paperwork, nigga, then why you speak about it? Where you from? The Heights or Oak Park? They always ask about it. I'm a product of both, nigga, and I'm a smash about it. I always wanted this money. I still dream about it. Sold crack to the city by any means about it. I could've been a tycoon, nigga. I thought about it. But a nigga still a goon, nigga. Ain't no doubt about it. The bitch wanted to freak, shit, wasn't no doubt about it. Told the bitch I'm cool, she got dismissed and got outed. She pouted. I thought about it. I made a call about it. What she thought? Since I've been gone, I wasn't about it. I got the game from the dope fiend. Trap house had them crowded. Nigga, they know the fiends. They taught me how to reroute it. How to repackage it up. Shit, I had to recount it. I'm a legend in the city. Missed shot and I'ma rebound it. Respected on the block. Better ask the streets about it. Been locked up in the pen. Shit, I hate to think about it. I've been neglected a lot, shit, but I'm cool about it. Nigga shot at me and missed, and that nigga made the news about it. Recognizing my mistake, nigga, I ain't no fool about it. I got motion in these streets, and I can't move without it. Mama gave me some game, I wasn't too keen about it. I rejected it a lot, but I was unforeseen about it. No warning shots in the pen, shit, you better read about it. Catch your body in the pen and let they folks read about it. The bitch said she loved me, but her movements made me doubt it. She wasn't in the visiting room and that motherfucker was crowded. Niggas say I went bad, shit, nigga, I heard about it. But no paperwork exists on the case with my words about it. Niggas say I robbed my nigga mama, how you think I feel about it? That nigga mama like my mama, I'm ready to kill about it. If our city come together, nigga, we should kill about it. Everybody buy each other music, let's get a meal about it. Lil GP and GP3, they with it and they bout it. Them little niggas clone me, ain't no doubt about it. Doing shit that I do with the same route about it. It's like doing business with myself. All we do is count it. Never understood why they hate. I would just think about it. I'm trying to figure this shit out so I could teach about it. I had Dayton's on every car. The streets would speak about it. Went to the feds, extra 5 for packing heat about it. Got stripped for the crown. Used to be the king, but got outed. But my nephew took it over, so I'm really proud about it. Niggas made decisions and split the hood about it. They can't love you like I do, they didn't grow up around it. Got my first kick at 15, I'm really bout it. My brother got smacked by the rollers, I had to read about it. Being black can fuck you up, who gon' teach about it? If the culture is fucked up, who the one who gon' preach about it? Who gon' talk about it? Who gon' walk the walk about it? My closest nigga let me down, but I don't talk about it. My other nigga got at my bitch, I never spoke about it. In return, I fucked this bitch and made a joke about it. We settled the shit, we smoked and had a drink about it. We dapped, saluted, and decided not to speak about it. These niggas keep testing me and I always beast about it. So I had a word with God and ask him what he think about it. What you think, God?